Good afternoon, Yaladim, and welcome back to more Children's Torah Stories. Today, we are going to learn about how David became old after so many years of being a hero for the Jewish people and having such interesting stories. Do you know, I think there are more stories about David than about anybody else. I was looking back. Adam and Chava, one story. Cain and Hevel, one story. Abraham, it's like 8 stories. Yitzchak, it's like 4 stories. Yaakov, 12 stories. Yosef, 9 stories. But David HaMelech, we today are doing story number 28 on David. Can you believe there are so many stories about this guy? He is a very interesting chap, and he did a whole lot. He saved the Jewish people from the Plishtim a bunch of times, and he had to run away from King Shaul, and he fought against Goliath when he was a young man, and he became the king of the Jewish people. And he had his own son try to be the king instead of him. And he had to fight against Sheva. And he had problems with Ishbosheth. And he had, what else did he have? He had the story with Bathsheba, where he did that bad thing with getting married to Bathsheba. And he said sorry to Hashem. He's had so much happen in his life. Really is amazing. And he also made some of the most beautiful davening that we have. The whole book of Tehillim, the whole book of Psalms is from David making it. Now, he didn't make up every one of them. Some of them he made himself, and some of them he got from other people and he put it together. But he was the one who did the book of Tehillim, the book of Psalms. First, whenever you see a book of Tehillim, it's this guy's book. I mean, not the puppet, obviously. The puppet's just there to remember who he is. But it's this guy's book. It's David's book. He was the one. Please close the door, Shalva. He was the one in charge of the book of Tehillim to make it the special book. And maybe you know the song Mizmor LeDavid. Hashem ro'i lo echsar, or something like that. Mizmor LeDavid, Adonai ro'i lo echsar. Or another tune for it. Mizmor LeDavid, Adonai ro'i lo echsar. All of those ones, that is all from David, and many, many, many more. During this month of Elul, coming up to Rosh Hashanah, we say one of David's Tehillim every single day. Le David Adonai Ori v'Yishi Mimi Ira. And that, Adonai Me'oz Chayai Mimi Evchad, that shows what David would always say. Hashem is my light. Hashem will save me. I don't need to be afraid of anyone else. And that was one of the main messages of David's life. David was maybe the bravest Jewish man who ever lived. Really? I think so. He was so brave. Remember, little boy or a teenager going and fighting against Goliath, who was this huge giant. Every other Jewish person was too scared to fight against Goliath. David was not too scared, even though he was young. He was so brave. Running away from King Shaul, wasn't scared. Went to fight the Plishtim, wasn't scared. Went to pretend to be one of the Plishtim, wasn't scared. Do you know why he wasn't scared? Because he knew that Hashem was always with him. No matter what would happen, Hashem was with him. And he said, I don't care if I have to face thousands and thousands of enemies. I know that Hashem is always with me. That doesn't mean, Yeladim, everything's going to be fine. David had hard times in his life. David didn't say, oh, Hashem's with me, so nothing bad will happen. He didn't say that. Bad things happened. He had his own son try to hurt him. That was Absalom, and chase him away. He had King Shaul trying to hurt him. He had running away here and being chased there. And he had his city burnt down and his whole family taken as slaves. Remember that with Amalek and Ziklag. So it doesn't mean that David never had hard times because Hashem was with him. David had really hard times. But he said, Hashem orimi mi'ira. Because Hashem helps me, because Hashem is my light, I won't be afraid. That is why David was, I think, the bravest Jewish man who ever lived. What did you ask me, Shalva?
I didn't ask.
Okay. So when David became old after many years, and truth be told, David never actually got that old. Do you want to know how old David was when he died?
70-something.
70. David was 70 years old. 70. Most of you probably have grandparents that are older than David was when he died. Because today, 70 isn't that old. And David only lived till age 70. Well, when David became old, he started singing a song to Hashem his whole life. He always sang songs to Hashem. And this was one of the songs that he sang to Hashem. Hashem, you've always helped me. Hashem, you are the best. When enemies come, you chase away the rest. Hashem, you are my helper. Hashem, you help me lots. Hashem, you are much better than kosher jelly tots. Okay, I just made up that bit. He didn't really sing about kosher jelly tots. But he did sing about how much Hashem helped him. Whenever things look bad, I thought I might not live. But then Hashem his help did give. He saved me from defeat. He saved me from bad things. Oh, how I wish I could have a packet of flings. No, that was also me. That wasn't David. Whenever it's bits about sweets, David didn't really sing that bit. But David carried on singing. Hashem was in the wind. Hashem was in the clouds. Hashem was in the thunder and lightning too. Hashem was in the sea. Hashem was in the storm. Hashem saved me in the cold. Hashem kept me warm. I always try to do what's right. I always do good things. Are you sure there's no packet of flings? No, that wasn't what David said. I do so many mitzvot. I don't want to do things wrong. And that's what I'm telling you with my song. When people are good, Hashem will help. When people are bad, they'll be in trouble. With Hashem by my side, I don't need to be scared of anything. And that's why I always try to do what's right. David had a much better voice than me. Sorry for my singing voice, but I am trying. Hashem, you are the best. Thank you for everything. That's why I'm never afraid. That's why I'll always do mitzvot. That's why I'll say I'm sorry when I'm wrong. Because then I can do what's right. Thank you, Hashem. That was David's song, and that was one of the last songs that he sang while he was still strong, because as he got older, he started getting weaker. And actually, when he got older, he stopped getting warm. There reached a point when he was cold all the time.
Yes,
So what they did was they said, okay, David, no problem. We will bring you some blankie. And so they brought David a lovely blankie and they put it over him. You see, it was my mask, but now it's David's blankie. So now you know why I brought it. And they put the lovely blankie on David. Brrr, I'm cold. I'm cold. Here, David, here's a nice blankie. We're tucking you in so you can be nice and warm. I'm still cold. Okay, another blankie coming. Another blankie. Here's another blankie. Keep you nice and warm. I'm still cold. Okay, even extra thick blankie. No, I'm still cold. Nothing could warm him up. I've got an idea. Probably the problem is he doesn't have enough wives. Do you think that's the problem, Yeladim? That is definitely not the problem. David has a lot of wives. Remember, he's married to Princess Michal. He's married to Abigail. He's married to, I can't even remember all the ladies he's married to. He's got so many, but that's what they decided. The answer is, if David would have a new wife, then he would be warm. Here is, David, would you like to marry Avishag? Sure. Avishag, would you like to marry David? Okay. And so she can come and give him a little cuddle and try to keep him warm. Now I feel warm again. Well, that is good. It did help. But Bathsheba was the other wife I was thinking about. But I wonder why one of his other wives couldn't do that. It wasn't like he didn't already have a bunch of wives. Anyway, that was what happened.
Wasn't it that they got a lady to sit on his bed?
It was a little bit more. But they just used to cuddle to keep him warm. But then something else happened. Remember how I said to you that Avshalom is not the only one who is going to try to become the king? Well, now it is time for us to learn about the other one who wants to become the king. That is David's son, Adoniyahu. And Adoniyahu was Avshalom's younger brother, but he was quite a lot like Avshalom in many ways. He was handsome, ding, and he was strong, and he was nice with people. How are you? And everybody loved him, and he decided that he would be the next king. But he didn't just go and say, I'm going to be the king, I'm going to be the king. He started meeting with people. Hey, don't you think it would be a good idea if I would be the king? After my father is not able to be the king anymore, and you know he's getting old, maybe I should be the king. After all, David's time is coming to an end. Someone has to be the king afterwards. Why not Adoniyahu? That's what he was thinking. And in fact, one of the ones who was on his side was none other than
His brother.
Yoav, one of the most important people in the Jewish people, the boss of the armies. I'll do that one in a little while. The boss of the armies. I think Adoniyahu's an excellent choice. He'll make a great king. Thank you, Yoav. You're the best. Well, what is going to happen next? Is Adoniyahu the right guy to be king? Will he become king? Should it be someone else instead?
Yes.
All that and more on the next exciting episode of Children's Torah Stories. Shalom Yaladim. I'll see you next time. Shabbat Shalom. Bye.